Hello, today I want to talk about how I compensate for my lack of intelligence. So everyone knows already, I have told the story many times, that I came to Canada as an immigrant. I didn't speak English that well, and certainly I didn't speak any French. And I saw that everyone had their life organized, and of course I didn't because I was a new arrival, but somehow I felt inferior to everybody else. In addition to that, when I was going to school, I was jealous because there were some kids who somehow they could pass exam with very little effort, and for me, school was always a struggle. So I always had the thought that I was less intelligent than everybody else. Later on in life, I discovered that one of the reasons why I felt a little bit inferior than everybody else was precisely because I was seeking the company of people who were or seemed to be more intelligent than I was. So of course, if I'm seeking the company of people who are smarter than me, I will feel, or maybe I was, less intelligent. So you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with, and if I'm spending time with people who seem to be smarter than me, that have their life better put together, well, I'm looking up to these people, but at the same time I feel like I have a lot of room to catch up. Oftentimes I say, wow, if I had the knowledge or the know-how or the intelligence of this person, if I had just a fraction of their intelligence, I could be so much farther ahead in life. And one example is my business partner, Cheryl. I think she's a very intelligent woman, but one of the things that I admire the most is her communication skills. Of course, English is her first language, and she can communicate clearly in English, but it just seems like she has a particular talent. Her vocabulary, the way that she puts together phrases, is something that I envy. And then I have been telling myself, if I could speak English half as well as she can, my blog, my YouTube channel, and my business skills will be so much better off than they are right now. Nevertheless, I feel that I have achieved certain successes in life in spite of my feeling of inferiority or maybe my lack of intelligence. And today I want to share with you the traits that have helped me succeed in spite of not being the smartest person in the room. The first trait that I would like to speak about is optimism. I feel like optimism is a superpower. I try new things because I think that in spite of circumstances, I will succeed. And sure, life has kicked me in the face a few times. My optimism has gotten me in trouble. I like to mention the time in which I was a day trader. I was a day trader for many years, maybe more than 5 years. And it was my optimism that led me to believe that I could outdo the stock market and I could have better returns and I could become a millionaire by playing better than everybody else. And guess what? It never happened. I wasted a lot of time, energy, emotional power, my intellect, and my money trying to chase returns that they never pan out. So at a given moment, I said, okay, that's enough. I learned my lesson, and now I'm not an active trader anymore. I am still an investor, but I am not an active trader anymore. On the other hand, it's because of my optimism that I have succeeded in many other areas. For example, I have been co-owner of a dance school for over 20 years. And I started this dance school at a time that I didn't even know how to dance that well. So it was just the optimism that yes, we can make this succeed that led to the birth of this dance school, and then the operation for what is 18 years now, almost 20 years. So optimism won the game right there. The other thing is my photography business. It's been 7-8 years that I have been an event photographer and I'm doing quite good. I have a set of clients. They call me for their events that happens every year, and I think I have a very nice recurring business there that not only is rewards my creativity, but also the need or the desire to be among other successful people. And yes, I love my photography business. The other thing is, at a given time in my life, I was an investor in real estate. And this is a competitive business, but because of the optimism that I have and some maneuvering, it was a very successful business. It gave me lots of returns. The one thing is that it turned out to be more stress than I anticipated. The money that I earned was not enough to compensate for my stress, so I stopped that business, but it was by all merits a successful business. And finally, my blog gets lots of visits every month. My YouTube channel, well, is growing. I cannot quote unquote consider it a success when comparing to other people, but it's a success in a way that it increases my knowledge every week, it increases my communication skills, it increases my curiosity, and by those metrics, I think my YouTube channel has been a success as well. So the lessons that I have learned from being an optimistic is that yes, you may fail, you may stumble from time to time, but only by trying new things you will succeed. You will never succeed if you don't try. In addition to that, people who are pessimists, they come across as smarter people. They know all the reasons why something should not work. They know the potential problems. They know all these things. And guess what? Because they know all these things, they never try. So usually it's an optimist who achieves something impossible. It's not a pessimist. The other trait that I think has brought successful to my life, and I believe it could bring success to anyone's life, is the power of habits. If you develop good habits, then you have no other choice but to succeed. For example, I would like to become a better writer, right? So you should have seen the text that I wrote 10 years ago. They were horrible, hard to understand. Now, 10 years later, well, my texts are legible, easier to understand. They are not Shakespeare by any means, but I feel like the habit of writing every week has made me a better writer. The other thing is communication skills. Well, I'm still struggling with my English, but I feel that every time that I practice, that I get in front of the camera, that I get in front of a group of people, my communication skills get even better. So in your life, if you develop positive habits, then you have no option but to succeed. For example, we all know that junk food is bad for you, okay? So if you want to develop better healthy habits, just don't buy any more junk food. Don't buy sugar drinks, don't buy chips, stop drinking beer or slow it down, whatever. So that's the power of habits. We all know that in order to be happier individuals, we have to build or be part of a community. So why not do some activity in which you are part of a group in which you do something fun? For example, my dance school, people get together, they dance, they have this human connection, they build friendships, and that is a better thing for them. And the habit of the financial habit. We all know that if we spend less than we earn, we are going to be able to save some money, and then that money we could either put it in a dumb, boring saving account, or we can invest it in a stock index like the Standard & Poor's 500, and that money will grow. But if we have the habit of, spending every cent that we have and then going into debt to buy something that we cannot even afford, then that's a bad habit. If you get rid of that bad habit and implement a positive habit into your life, then you will be better off. So the power of habits, you don't have to be too smart, you don't have to be the smartest kid in the block to make the power of habits work for you. And finally, the last attribute that helps me compensate for my lack of intelligence is the attribute of being an ambitious person. Okay, and many people will say, oh, I'm just not that ambitious. Well, ambition doesn't necessarily mean ambition for money. You know, let's say you want to become a better musician, a better guitar player. Okay, so if that's your ambition, then if you practice every day or every week or whatever amount of time, that is, the ambition is to become better, and the vehicle to become better is to practice. But you have to have that ambition first. And there are some people who say, I just don't have an ambition. I don't believe that's true. I think we all have an ambition. Sometimes we let society dictate what our ambitions are, or sometimes society admonishes us for being ambitious. You know, like there is a lot of backlash against rich people. So some people say, oh, you know, the money is the root of all evil, and then they put this mental block in their head and they decide never to have money because they believe society's narrative that money is evil. Well, you know, try to get rid of all this, try to find out what are your real ambitions, what is the things that you really desire in life, and work for them. I have a friend, he has 10 grandkids, okay? His biggest ambitions is to be, first of all, a great-grandfather, and then secondly, the day that he dies, to leave a little bit of money to all his grandkids. This is a beautiful ambition. Me, when I came to Canada, my biggest ambition was to become financially independent. So I started doing janitor jobs for minimum wage, and of course, I discovered that was not the best way to become financially independent, so I changed to other things. At one time in my life, I was an Uber driver, I think for 4 years or so, and although I was earning decent money, I was happy with my earnings. Every time that I was driving, I was thinking to myself, this is not the best way to become financially independent. So just having this North Star, just knowing where you want to go, then that will help you along the life. So this is something to develop an ambition and go for it. And yes, we will stumble along the way, we will encounter dead ends, but at the end of the day, if we continue following our ambition, we will be able to achieve our goals. Now my question is to you: do you consider yourself to be an intelligent person? If so, has this helped you achieve your goals? If you don't consider yourself to be an intelligent person, what strategies have you implemented in your life to compensate? Please let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching, and until soon. Peace.